Hello everyone, my name is Aarohi and welcome to my channel. So guys, in this video I'll talk about 3D object detection using YOLO4. And the topics which we are going to cover in our today's classes: what is 3D object detection, and then we'll see the difference between 2D object detection and 3D object detection, and next after that I'll cover what is LiDAR, and then I'll show you the dataset which I'm going to use in our today's class. I'll also tell you how to download that dataset. After that I'll show you the practical implementation step by step, and we'll implement this YOLO V4 for 3D object detection in a PyTorch. And by the end of this video you will be able to achieve this kind of output. You can see that 3D bounding box is there on all the objects. So this is what we are going to do in our today's class. So let's begin. So this, when we talk about 2D object detection, 2D object detection only predict 2D bounding boxes, right? And 2D bounding boxes simply means a line drawn on the object in the square format or in the rectangular format, and that box is of some specific dimensions, right? And when we talk about 3D object detection, with 3D object detection, we can know various details of that detected object. For example, you can know the size of that object, the object which we have detected. We can know the size of that object, right? We can know the position of that detected object, and we can also know the orientation of that object, right? So these kind of things we can do with the help of 3D object detection, and we can use them in variety of applications in robotics, self-driving cars, or in augmented reality. Okay, so guys, when we talk about 3D object detection, whenever we want to run any algorithm, we need a data set. All right, so there are various 3D data sets available which are related to street scenes, which are related to traffic, right? So there are plenty of data sets already available due to the popularity of research in this self-driving cars, right? So those data sets are created by 3D capture sensors like LiDAR. Okay, so LiDAR simply means light detection and ranging, and LiDAR use laser to measure the distance between the distance from the objects. Okay, so basically how this LiDAR work? LiDAR use light. Okay, so basically light energy emitted from the LiDAR system is known as pulse, and the light reflected back from the object is called return. Okay, and it measures the difference between the light emitted to object and light returned back, and sends the object distance by that. All right, and it basically checks how much time it takes, how much time the emitted light takes to return back to the sensor. Okay, and on the basis of that it gets the distance from the object. Okay, so for example, you can take the example of sonar uses sonar waves to figure out the things, and radio uses radio waves. In the same way, LiDAR use light sent from the laser to figure out the distance. Okay, so in my today's class, the dataset which I'm going to use is Kitti dataset, and this dataset is collected by a LiDAR sensor, right? Velodyne HDL64E. There's a Kitti multi-model sensor suite, Velodyne HDL64E. Using that suite, they have collected the dataset, and in my today's class we are going to use that dataset. And guys, if you want to know more about the sensor setup or their camera setup, then you can visit this link. Let me show you the link. Okay, this is the link. You can visit this link if you want to know more about like how they set up the sensor and how they set up the different cameras. So you can visit this page and you can get all that details from here. Okay, and once you collected that data set, now when we talk about this LiDAR dataset, Kitti dataset is collected by LiDAR. Okay, so basically this sensor, LiDAR sensor, provide the 3D scene. Okay, and every example, right, every training example is a snapshot of 100 milliseconds, and it will give you the 3D world around that car. Okay, so basically how this LiDAR is giving us data. So LiDAR is responsible for providing us 3D world around the car. Okay, so this is how we have collected, this is how this LiDAR collected the data. Now from where you can download this data? So for that, just go to this link. Okay, so you can visit this link, and here you will see few links. Okay, from here you need to download this link, this one, Velodyne point clouds. This is very important, this is the main source of our data. Okay, this file is of 29 GB. So Velodyne point clouds, and after that you need to have this camera calibration, and after that you need to download this training labels. So this and this, you need to download these 3 folders. Okay, so once you download these 3 folders, okay, so now let me go to the folder. Okay, dataset, right, Kitti. Okay, not here, just come back. Okay, so here you can see these kind of zip files you will get: calib, image, labels, and Velodyne. When you will unzip these folders, you will get 2 folders under it. One is training and other one is testing. Training folders will be used for training purpose, and on testing folders we will perform the testing later on. Okay, so once you download these folders, what you need to do is, now the next thing is to clone this GitHub repo. So guys, I'm using this GitHub repo, the code is already there. So I'm using this GitHub repo, and we will implement the output, and you can see the paper. This is the paper we are trying to implement. Okay, so this paper we are trying to implement. And now once you clone this GitHub repo, you will get this kind of folder. Okay, this. Okay, in this folder, see, some of the folders are result folder will not be there, logs folder will not be there, checkpoints folder will not be there, asset will not be there, right? So these are the folders you will get once you do the training and testing. Okay, initially you will get only these folders: source, docs, and dataset. Okay, and these other files. All right, now once you have these files, now let me tell you where to place your dataset. So when you clone your dataset, under this dataset folder, you have one dataset folder under your cloned GitHub repo. Open it. Under that you will have one Kitti folder. Open that folder. Here initially you will have this class names text file and image set. Okay, these 2 things will not be there. So create 2 folders. Create one folder with the name of training, and create another folder with the name of testing. Okay, once you create these 2 folders, now open training folder. Under this training folder, you will see I have a calib folder, and you will have these kind of files under it, right? And then image 2, you have different images. Let me open an image and show you. These kind of images of your datasets are there in this folder. Okay, and after that you have a label folder. Under label 2 folder you have text files like these, and under Velodyne you have these kinds of bin files. Now what this Velodyne is? Velodyne folder is basically containing the point clouds. And what are point clouds? Point clouds simply means the 3D world around the car. Okay, so all these datasets we have now. Now from where to get these folders? Calib folder, image 2 folder, label 2 folder, or Velodyne folder. From where to get? So guys, remember we have downloaded these folders, right? When you extract these folders, you will get these kind of 2 folders: training and testing. When you open training folder, you have calib folder. Just copy this calib folder from here, and then you have to paste it. Let me open another here. just go to the folder where we are working, and we have dataset folder. Under dataset we have Kitti folder. Under Kitti we have training folder. Just paste this calip folder which you have extracted over here, right? So in the same way, go back. Now go to this data object image 2. Open this training and copy this image 2 from here and go in this image 2 and paste it over here. Like this you have to paste all the dataset files. Okay. So now your dataset is present in dataset folder, Kitti folder, and under training you have all the training files. In the same way, create testing folder, and the files which are there in testing folder, when you unzip all the folders, put them over here. Guys, you will see under testing folder we don't have labels folder, right? So for training we have label folder because we need to tell the labels, but under testing we don't have that folder. Okay. So now once your dataset is ready, now we will perform the training and testing. Open this source folder. Under this source folder you have this train.py and test.py. Train.py is responsible to train your algorithm and test.py is responsible to test your algorithm. Okay. So now let's see the command for training. Okay. So guys, here you can see the training I have performed. I have performed this training, and for every epoch you can see over here 177th epoch. Basically the total training epochs are 300, but I have stopped the process in between only, and I have trained my model for 177 epochs. Alright, and for training my model on Kitti dataset for 177 epochs, so it took 38 hours to complete the training for 177 epochs. Okay, and for, let me show you the training command. The training command which we have used is, okay, let me show you the training command. So this is the training command which we have used, and guys you can see over here just I have written python train.py, and this is how you can train your algorithm. Once you start the training you will get checkpoints folder and logs folder. Let me show you. Under this folder over here you will get this checkpoints folder and logs folder. Okay, let's open this checkpoints folder. Under this checkpoint folder you have this folder, and when you open this folder you can see that we are saving the model after every 5 epochs. So 5, 10, 15, and this way my model is saved up to 175th epoch. Okay, so over here you will get your trained models. Using these trained model, you can pick one of the trained model from here, and then you can test your application. Okay, so and let's see other folder logs. I have told you, like, when you start the training you will get 2 folder, one is checkpoint and other one is logs. Let's open this logs folder. Under this log folder again you will have another folder, and when you open it you will have a folder with the name of TensorBoard, and all the accuracy matrices, you will get everything over here. You can see average, class accuracy, class loss, IOU score, confidence, objectness, all kind of recall, precision, everything you will get in this logs folder. Okay, so once your training is completed, then we have test.py file, and now let me show you the command for testing. So this is my testing code. Okay, so let me show you the testing. Okay guys, let me tell you one more thing. Let's go back to this dataset only. You can see that this 3D Kitti dataset have 7481 training images for training. Okay, so we have trained our algorithm on 7481 images. And how many test images we have? We have 7518 test images. Okay, so now we will perform the testing using that test.py file on these 7518 images. And now you can see over here in this command prompt, just wait, you can see that testing has been done till 7517 file. So total 7518 images. We have performed the testing on that, and the command to test it is, this is the command. Okay, so once you done the testing, you will get another folder with the name of results. Okay, results folder you will get after the testing, and when you open this result folder, you will see the results over here. Let me open and show you. See, you can see this one, this black one, this is the Velodyne point clouds, right? So what it is a 3D world around the car, and this is our image, and you can see that 3D bounding boxes are there. Let me show you other pictures. You can see that this is again the point clouds, and this is the image detection, and we are having 3D object detection over here, right? You can see different examples. All right, so this is what you will get when you execute this algorithm, and I have told you that I have executed it only for 177 epochs, right? And you can increase the number of epochs, and then you can see the results. And if you want to see the accuracy plots or different loss plots, then you can see those plots using the tensor board, right? And just give the path till your logs folder, and you can see the various plots over there. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching.